Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Sports Talk. My name is Dick Kelter. I'm your host, and we got a little wrinkle in the sports theme, although these ladies are definitely athletes, but of a different sort. I'd like to welcome to the table the drum majors for this year's 2013-14 Foxborough band, and to my left is Brenna Lincoln. And on the other side of the table is Angie Jepson. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks.
My comment there about band and music and drum majors, you're three-season athletes. You go all year round.
Yep.
You have band camp just like the football team has their camp and the soccer teams have their camp. So you started working, probably done something all summer, but you started working on the field with Mr. Massey sometime in August.
Yep.
Now I'm led to believe by our producer that there is actually an academy for drum majors where you learn the extra skills beyond your musical skills to lead the band. Mm-hmm. Angie, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so Brenna and I went away to a camp in August for drum majors from all across the country. There are kids from Massachusetts or Colorado or Vermont or wherever, and they just taught us a few techniques about trying to lead the band in an effective way that would try and help them most. So,
had you, obviously seniors get to do this for the first time, mm-hmm. So neither of you had any experience leading the band prior to that in any way?
I mean, we've been section leaders where we just work with our own section, but yeah, this was the first time we were leading the whole band.
Let's get down to the multi-talented part of it. Angie, what instruments do you play?
I play flute and alto saxophone.
And Brenna?
I play the clarinet.
And how many of the, besides marching band, how many other programs do the two of you participate in?
I'm, well, obviously concert band and symphony orchestra and clarinet choir.
Okay. And similar?
Yeah, I do concert band and obviously marching band and the jazz ensemble and flute choir.
Okay, so this keeps you busy outside of your academic schedule.
Definitely.
Yeah, this keeps you running from pillar to post, mm-hmm. pretty much. Now, you were describing for me before we went on the air that your first practice is first thing in the morning, mm-hmm. And that's no music, just marching skills.
Mm-hmm. No, it's both. So the whole band goes down to the Hersey Field, and we march the show and play the show.
Okay, so it's with instruments, and
yeah.
So it's so we get all our turns correctly, and
yeah.
You guys get all your signals correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Signals appear to be seamless from drum majors to band. How much time and effort does it take to get the musicians, while they're playing their instrument, to respond to that? How long does it take you to get in sync?
Well, I mean, it always depends on the band, but I think as long as the band is watching, it goes pretty quickly. And the band we have this year is very attentive, and they're on the ball. And the drum line really helps with that, the signals and whatnot in there. If they're watching the drum major, then the whole band kind of goes with them. And we have a really hard-working drum line and band, so it's pretty seamless.
So the movie Drumline is honest to the role that drummers play in what everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely probably the most important part of the marching band sound as a whole.
Musically,
yeah. They help guide both leadership-wise and the time of the whole band. So without them, we wouldn't really have a marching band.
Yeah.
So.
And marching band is interesting, although we don't pursue it outside competitively. It's a short season for you. You do outside of school events. You do 1 or 2 parades a year here in town.
Definitely, yeah. We do the Founders Day Parade and the Memorial Day Parade, and those are really awesome. It's a really cool experience to go to the parades, especially the Memorial Day Parade. It's just always a really moving ceremony, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
I have seen you actually march from the high school to the beginning of the parade route. I've seen you march across all the fields from there to there and to assemble for the parade. Academically, both seniors. You've both been in the music program 8 years. What are our academic aspirations? You're somewhere close in your college process to some decision making this spring. Brenna, what's on the agenda?
I'm definitely interested in going to college. I'm not sure exactly where I want to go yet, but that is actually, it's a common myth that the music students tend to pursue music, and it's not actually true. Angie and I, neither of us are planning on pursuing music as a profession.
Oh, you took away my next question.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But despite that, it seems that the music students in general tend to be very academically advanced in their classes, and they're all very hardworking.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard about the fact that music assists you in things like math and science?
All sorts of times, and it's obvious with all the kids in the band. They're all really, really driven, and academically, after every sectional, it's, well, I got to go home and study it for my anatomy quiz or my math test tomorrow. So they're all very driven academically, and most of them, I think we only have like 2 or 3 kids, maybe music majors this year. So it's not that many, and there's 82 kids in the band, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have any idea what you're interested in pursuing at college?
Yep, I think I'm gonna definitely go into nursing. But I mean, I think music will still be a major part of my life, and I can probably say the same for Brenna too.
Yeah.
So as an ancillary part for your own personal enjoyment?
Yeah, definitely. Music is also a really great way to learn too, I think, because it's very honest. So I think it's a good thing to have in your life to keep you, I don't know, music, it can keep you very humble because you say play it and you either can or you can't. So it's a great way to learn and to think about yourself of you either can do it or you can't. There's no talking your way out of it.
So do we get to the point where we tell ourselves, I can, and we just set forward and we find a way to do it?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's discipline, it's interdiscipline with your academic subjects. And again, it's not necessarily music, but the thought process that goes on for you to get to that point where I can't, to the point where I can. The level of, you must get sad when you hear about schools that, for budgetary reasons or whatever, are forced to cancel. And usually the first things that go are art and music.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an integral part of our school and culture, I think. And it's not only like the music and the faculty that make it special, it's all the students who put all their time and effort into it too. So to see other kids who aren't able to have that sort of connection with friends of any age it's sad, because we have freshmen who are really good friends with seniors who guide them in not only music but just life and high school and surviving high school. So it's sad not to see other schools offering music as even like an elective option or anything. So.
Yeah.
So there's some voluntary mentoring going on behind the scenes.
Definitely.
I think we're really fortunate too to have a community that really supports the music program. Cable access is always there at our concerts or at the football games. Also, there's a great parent organization, the FMA, and a whole staff of private teachers and really good music teachers that I think keep the music program going. the school committee's always supported the music program, so I think we're really fortunate, unlike some other towns, unfortunately, but we have the community really supports our program.
It's nice to hear that is recognized. Cable is a little part of that, but your support organization does all the fundraising, and do you guys get to participate in fundraising, washing cars, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we actually have a bottle and can drive this Saturday.
Yeah.
Go ahead, promo it.
So we'll be recycling it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be going door to door to get some bottles and cans. So.
Excellent. You're going to set up shop at the town hall parking lot to sort and with the parents, and
sort and clean bottles.
so that's this Saturday, which would be what, 14th?
14th.
From 9 to 3, I think, we'll be there.
Okay. So if you're not going to be home, drop them off at the town hall, and we'll just give you a little plug. Are you in the Reporter Thursday?
I don't know. The Reporter?
Well, hopefully somebody from the parent organization.
I think we are. There's also some signs up on people's lines.
They're flyers,
on lawns,
okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And how many of those do you have to do to support all the extra things that you do?
I mean, we have an ongoing support system from the FMA, but this is our main bottling can drive, is like the main source of like scholarship funds and things like that.
We also like Pops, the music concert we have in May around there, brings in a lot of money too. So
that has an admission fee.
Yeah.
Yes, I enjoy attending those, whether I'm just watching or behind a camera. So, do you feel any isolation because you're the quarterback and everybody else is out there, or have they embraced you and we're ready to rock and roll?
No, I don't feel any isolation from the band at all.
Yeah, I think, well, we also in the beginning of the school year, right in the end of the summer, we have band camp where we work a lot with all the sections and the players individually, so we really build a good relationship, I think. And I don't know, it's just, sometimes it's forgotten, but music is like a language, so when you're up there, you're still part of the music, so it still feels like you're part of what's going on. You're not off.
Well, actually, you're one of them who's just gotten a promotion for the fall season. When will we be ready to take the field?
I think our first game is October 4th, or the first game we'll be playing at.
I understand, does the football team have a very small, like 2 or 3 game home schedule this year?
That's what it appears to be like right now, but there's also 3 unannounced games, so we're hoping all 3 will be home games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a very limited chance to perform.
Yeah, it is, but we'll be there for those. If there's only 3, we'll be there for those 3 with a lot of enthusiasm. So.
Now, how do you interact with the drum majorettes and the dance team and that kind of stuff? Do you have any responsibility for them? Are they independent?
Well, we only have a one dancer, and she's a close friend of both of ours. So.
And then the cheerleaders and football captains, I think all 3 of us, the band, the cheerleaders, and the football team, we're all very supportive of one another.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
the football teams takes the field, the band and the cheerleaders really try to support them. And the football players want us to be there for the games, and the cheerleaders are excited to work with us, and we're just as excited to work with them. They all have really awesome leaders in all of their programs too. So.
Do you ever have collaborative meetings with the cheerleaders and that kind of stuff to see how you can enhance each other's programs?
Not necessarily meetings, but we do things like hold signs for what song we're going to play so the cheerleaders know to get ready for whatever cheer they do to match that. And then, I don't think we don't necessarily like talk to the football players, but we do have to have, I ask like, so are you guys think you're going to win this week so we can like be watching what's going to happen?
So there's kind of an unspoken communication, but there is a collaborative effort there,
Yeah.
unspoken or otherwise.
Definitely an unspoken respect for one another.
Well, again, people don't respect cheerleaders as athletes either, but
They should.
Oh, they
Again,
definitely are.
They
the,
should.
the
They're
efforts that they
incredible.
put in,
Flip through the air.
Yeah.
Can't
you know,
even.
bodies flying around and everybody retains all their body parts. That's a significant achievement, particularly at the younger levels. You see some really advanced stuff, but you see injuries at the college level as well when they do some of that high flying stuff. Is there anything new or special that is in store for the watching crowd?
Well, our theme this year is West Side Story, so we're trying to portray the role of me being Anita and Brenna being Maria, so we're going to try our best acting skills, but you'll have to wait and see.
Oh, excellent.
The
So do we
music is really high
do we get out of
quality.
uniform at some point into costume?
No.
No, there's no wardrobe.
There is a dancer in costume though, so
Okay.
keep an eye out for her.
So that's going to play a significant role in the interpretation of what you're doing.
Yeah.
The marching part, very short season, a lot of effort to get ready for 6 or 8 events.
Yeah, Mr. Massey was actually just talking about that this morning, that sometimes it's easy to lose focus when you don't have that many like shows or games, but that the value isn't in the performance, it's in the work that it takes to get to the performance. And I think that our band really understands that. It's a very mature band, and that it's just as much fun to be marching in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning and practicing something as it is to be on the field. And there's, you could argue, a little bit more value in the repeating something until you get it right. So.
And these kids are definitely very motivated to make it perfect. They want it bad,
Yeah.
so they
Well,
want to
you're-
be perfect.
You're introducing another element. It's easy to sit in a seat. It's not easy to sit in a seat and play an instrument, but then you add the element of movement and still try to keep the quality of the instrumental performance upscale, coordinated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a challenge, but if you, we come at it in like the week before summer as 2 separate things. We learn to march, and we learn the music, and then we put it together at night. And if you're focused and you're working hard and you're prepared, it's definitely possible to achieve at a really high level. And I think the students in the band have been very focused, and they look great.
Yeah.
We're really lucky.
You think you're ready to hit the field then?
Yeah, their excitement and enthusiasm level. We actually had a rehearsal last night, and it was really incredible. It was 8:25 or whatever, and our rehearsal was like 3 hours long, and we were coming to the end of our rehearsal, and all of a sudden this enthusiasm starts to rise in them, and they're like, "All right, guys, well, one more time, and we're gonna do it the best time yet." So they ran back and gave it their all, and it really shows. They have a drive to make it perfect and bond with their teammates and do it well. So
I know you have so many programs and so many different bands. Would it be an intrusion to take marching band to a competitive level?
I don't know if it would necessarily be an intrusion, but I think, I don't know, I think we're more of a, we do compete for concert band and jazz band sometimes, but Mr. Massey likes to get to concert band and likes to focus more on the music than the competitive, like we're going to win. And the goal is more to learn than to win.
Good way to look at it. And most of us have enjoyed so many of your onstage performances, either either behind a camera or actually being able to sit as a spectator. The quality is just spectacular, and to do things like go to and play at Carnegie Hall is probably a better idea than marching up and down a football field in December in the cold, adding an additional element to just keeping the instruments greased and going.
yeah.
So do you have any special focus that, obviously some of the things, what are some of the things that you learned in the academy?
I think it's a combination of both what we learned in the Drum Major Academy and what our teachers, like Mr. Albro and Mr. Murphy and Mr. Massey, obviously have taught us all at the high school level. We learn about leadership and encouragement, and we try our best to encourage and help the younger students. And it's not only us, I think it's a lot of our other senior leaders, like the section leaders. They try their best to not only support me and Brenna, but support their band, because it's really not, it's their band and they want it to sound good, so it's not just our leadership, it's theirs too, I think.
I definitely agree. I mean, we learned like technical things like conducting and how to teach marching at Drum Major Academy, but a lot of, I found it really interesting that a lot of the things they were teaching us about leadership we'd heard from Mr. Massey or Mr. Murphy or Mr. Albro or our private teachers, and not only had we heard it, but our seniors and our upperclassmen had heard it too, and were doing it already, and were leading their section through the whole summer. They were having sectionals, and so I think that Drum Major Academy was really helpful, but we're fortunate enough to have already learned some of those things and to have other members of the band who definitely have learned that.
So what you're saying is the music could be secondary. This is a wonderful leadership training laboratory where you put in the effort, you get promoted to section leader and work your way up.
Definitely.
I think definitely, and it's a very unique community in that, I mean, maybe your goal isn't to be like a section leader, but there's not very many places where the freshmen and seniors are interacting and boys and girls are interacting in high school. And there's just a whole mix of it, and whether you're a section leader or whatever, that might be your goal, but it's a very interesting community to be a part of, even if you are a freshman, and to look up to those seniors or to those juniors and try to be like them.
So, in my view of sport, it's one of the few places in education where you're dealing with an entire student, body, mind, and spirit.
Yep.
And you have to develop your own drives to accomplish what you've accomplished. How long ago did you get elected last spring at the end of the band season to be drum majors, or was it an election or an appointment?
Mr.
Massey.
Massey, an appointment.
He talked to us, I think, at the end of May.
Yeah, he likes to wait till the
Beginning of
seniors are gone so that
They can.
it stays their band until
Yeah.
the very end of the year, so that we're focused on that group of people.
Another training point, and like the seniors don't get to play for their own graduation. You
Yeah.
guys, that's when the juniors start looking at their advancement and picking up where the exiting seniors take off.
Yep.
So you've known since May, and again, that's just a style point for, like you say, it's their band. They're the leaders until they go out the door, and then he starts to select the next group of leaders.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily like the seniors band, but I just mean like that 4 grades band, because it's the freshmen's band and the sophomore. It's all
understood.
Of
But they hold the leadership roles until
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
out the door. Academically, how does the time demand is amazing. How do you dance around that and fit in all the other things that have to be fit in?
Lots of
like this year,
coffee.
filling out college applications and getting recommendations. Is that real tough? Do you many long nights and early mornings?
Yeah, I mean, lots of early mornings, lots of late nights, and lots of coffee, I think helps us. It's all about getting your work done little by little, I think.
I think band members are experts at time management, as well as other high schoolers who have jobs or sports or activities.
Another enhancement to the program.
Yeah.
Many students enter college without that sense of time management. And you guys are just going, and sometimes it doesn't happen easily, it doesn't happen quickly, but
Yeah.
eventually the light dawns and you say, wait a second, I have to manage my time better.
Definitely for our teachers at the high school and the music department, the answer, I didn't have time to do it, isn't an option. It's never an answer, so.
Do you have a separate marching coach that assists you, or does the rest of the music staff have enough marching experience that?
They're definitely skilled and seasoned enough to. We don't have a separate marching coach. Mr. Massey, Mr. Murphy, and Mr. Albro are our main coaches, as well as a few volunteers who just come on their own time. Mrs. Bishop, Mrs. Pearson, who are just community members who support the band.
Sometimes old alumni will come back
Yeah.
and give some pointers to kids and come for a night rehearsal and help out.
So it's a lifelong love.
Definitely.
If you've been through the program, you have it never exits your mind.
Definitely.
Whether you go on to music as a profession or just something that you like to do.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, we're coming to a close here. We wish you well, and we'll be watching. Once again, the public will be watching live for your performances, and again, cable will have them, and we'll get to replay them, and you can sit and watch yourselves and say, "Ooh," find all your mistakes and know when to correct them, or learn how to cover your mistakes so the camera doesn't pick it out. I thank you both for being with us this evening. It's been a pleasure talking with you. It sounds like an exciting fall, and we're all looking forward to doing that. So if you'd like to see these ladies perform, pick up a football schedule and watch them lead the marching band over the course of the fall season. And thank you again. And this is Dick Kelter saying thanks for joining us, and good night for Sports Talk.